So I guess you thought you were going to get away with that? So the thing is that we know who I am, and yet we continue to test the waters. And every time you do it, remember, you always need numbers. So if I know that numbers are coming up against me, and you already know that I'm smart, that I'm ahead, you see, your number one problem is that you don't believe in what is protecting me. But that is okay because your opposition is not going to believe what is protecting you. This is opposing energy. You are a believer, you are a seer, you are a knower, but they are not. Your spiritual protection knows that they're going to go through lengths to try to come for you. And you have to be prepared that you're going to have to take some type of sacrifice. Remember, I told you it's a war. But within the war itself, they have like little battles. Now, after some time, you'll begin to realize that you are not actually in a war, that you are just there observing it. So, let's get personal, right? People know that my North Node is in Pisces, which means unconditional. They're fighting to keep me out of my North Node because the North Node is the soul's goal. This is how we reach more of our evolution. This is the place. Okay? So this is where we reach our evolution. This is when we start walking through gates. This is when we start walking through miracles. So they always want to try to keep you in your South Node, which to me is not a problem because you need a balance. You have to be able to know how to move. So with me having North Node in Pisces and being unconditional, they think that I'm a pushover. They think that they can abuse. They think that they can gang rape me spiritually. So you have to know the dangers, and you have to accept that human beings are ruthless. Some people are so broken and so torn to the point of no return. Sometimes when traumatic things happen to us, it kills us, and we are no longer here. So when it comes to the chosen one, yes, you're killed off, but your vessel is blessed. You came into this world within that vessel. Just because you were killed off doesn't mean that you die. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why with some individuals, when they're not chosen and they die, they just become like zombies. They become hateful. They become narcissists. They become rapists, killers, all type of shit. So it's all about accepting and understanding. If you try to ignore it or run away or act as if it's not true, or you want to be stupid and say, oh, it's too unbelievable, like that type of shit doesn't happen. No, I told you, it's ruthless out here. When it comes to me, because of the unconditional, like I said, they think that they can do all of these terrible things to me because they're trying to test my abilities. But when it comes to my protection, they thought that they could all gang up on. They thought that they was going to create this bubble within my space. And they thought that they were going to inject this bubble with a whole bunch of poison, chaos, fear, and terror. But the thing is that they do not know that everything about me is a trap. It has to be. And it is so contradicting. They don't get it. Because it's kind of like, if you're a chosen one, if you are who you say you are, then you're supposed to just take this ass whooping, take this abuse, take this rape, take this bullshit. No. That is the human being way of thinking. That's why when it comes to higher power, human beings they don't stand a chance. And when you stand in your higher power, when you stand in yourself, when you align with yourself, you're always going to be undefeated. And there are times to where you don't have to stand in yourself and you're still going to be undefeated. You have to understand this is why you are chosen. It doesn't matter how they come. It doesn't matter how many come. Just understand that you're going to take some hits. Because when you take hits, they're going to be taking hits with you. But you're going to be the only one that walks away okay. You're going to be the only one that has support. They want to see you sick. You may get a mild stomach ache. They're going to get an ailment. So everybody goes in with getting sick together. You're the only one that comes out healed. So let's just talk about it. When it comes to purity, it seems like purity triggers the most ruthless things in people, the most heinous, the most malice things in people. So we know that purity needs to be protected. So we learn how to use purity as the trap, because they lose their mind with the purity. However you and your spirit guides create the trap is how y'all create it. You cannot give your secrets away. So they don't understand how they got trapped. They thought that they had it in the bag. And while you're moving on, and there are other places to where your spirit guides and God needs you. Look at that. We're lighting up the darkness. We're lighting up the dark forces. So to where they're stuck and they're suffering, trying to get out of the trap that they laid for you, God is moving you on someplace else. You are important. And therefore, yes, you may take certain hits, but you will never stay down. So, it's kind of like the more practice that you get, the more that you'll gain your confidence. That's why we need the practice, because the practice builds the confidence. You know what I'm saying? Your enemies are powerful, but they don't stand a chance against you and your protection. And that's what they will never understand. So they will continue to do what they do until they find themselves falling into a place where it's too late to come back from. You don't need to see things happen to people. You don't need to know what's going on with them, what's happening to them. But you're going to know that they're miserable. And the more misery that they go through within themselves, the harder they're going to come. Because it's doomsday. So it gets to a point to where they want to take everybody out. We're already doomed. We might as well dedicate ourselves to bringing down the chosen one. And it's an understanding that they never comprehend. I'm chosen. And I had to go up against a couple of chosen ones too. Had to get my ass set down. And then I'm just like, God, why? If you have chosen me, why, when it comes to another chosen one and they're trying to fuck with me, like, why does it seem like I'm getting my ass kicked out here? God told me, the chosen are my children. Y'all will not bully each other. Y'all will not fight each other. Y'all will stand by each other, and you will fight for each other. So that is the first lesson, and that's what I'm saying. When it comes to God fathering you, mothering you, or parenting you, this is what you are going through. This is why they say that the chosen ones, your first overcoming is going to be your family. Because your family are the first ones that are trying to kill you. Most of them succeed. What did God do for Jesus? He resurrected him. And when Jesus resurrected, he did not come back. So once they kill you off, you never come back. You are resurrected in a way to where now you are undefeated. So, once you learn to respect your sisters and your brothers, now you all fight together. But of course, there are going to be many battles that you have to fight alone, without each other. Okay? So, it just is what it is. And as chosen ones, we all have gifts. Some are healers. Some are here to just live their life how they want. Some are unconditional. Get into your North Node. Right? Me being unconditional, me personally, with having to take so many hits, I appreciate my healers. Of course, I can heal by myself and I have my spirit team, but there may be a healer that needs practice. I may get hit on a level to where I'm close to death. So now I'm being used to challenge that healer. If you don't heal me, I'm going to die. So that other chosen healer has to go in. It's scary because it's kind of like, damn, this person's life is in my hands. I don't know if I don't know if I can do this. You can do it. Just as ruthless as people try to come up against you, it's just as powerful as you are. And you need to see that power, because sometimes as chosen, we're growing in a way to where we don't see. Our gifts, our abilities are enhancing in a way that we don't see. So you have to get the practice. Sometimes it's scary, so we want to run away from our abilities. And then God puts you in a corner to where, no, stop it. Stop being afraid, son. Stop being afraid, daughter. And you're sitting there freaking out like, oh my God, this person is about to die. I don't know if I can do this. And then God starts yelling, I don't want to hear that crying shit. Do it. You ever notice in the Bible with God's chosen ones, how they all bitch up at some point in time? They break down and say, God, I don't know if I can do this. And God yells. God's voice begins to roar like a lion. And then you snap out of it. And you do what needs to be done. And once you do what needs to be done, and once you see your abilities, once you go through the experience, then you realize like, oh, I'm stronger than what I thought. I'm more powerful than what I thought. Right. This gives you the motivation to begin your practice. More practice you get, the more your confidence builds. And when you build your confidence, you're less angry and less resentful of the shit that you have to go through in order to get to your understanding of how strong you are and have become. So you walk around with this silent confidence. It's kind of like, yeah, you better not fuck with me, but you're not loud or boastful about it. You begin to develop this humility, this humbleness. And you begin to develop that because there's less fear now that you walk around with. And there's an understanding that you have that humility is going to be like your backbone. It's whenever you fall, it's kind of like it's going to straighten you up. Whenever your backbone begins to, you know how they say, have some backbone. When you feel that backbone kind of getting weak and you're slouching and you're hunched over, the humbleness, the humility straightens you up. Through humility, you continue to begin to remember who you are every time. You see, your opposition is afraid of the humility because they're operating out of ego, because it's a war. Somebody has to win and somebody has to lose, not knowing that they're always going to be the loser. Okay? So we're going to end it here today. And until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.